Hello, everyone. My name is Donna Harris. I am your woman's empowerment coach, and my purpose is to serve women service women who want to become empowered to alter their lives, to help heal, to help transform their lives from a place of desperation to a place of hope and empowerment. I would like you to thank you for joining in to the Create Your Life Transformation podcast. If this is your first time, I want to thank you, but whoever's returning, thank you so much for coming in today. I have a guest today. Her name is Fanesia Green. She is, you know how you have those friends that you've never met before, but somehow or another you just connected on such a level. She is one of those persons. I've never met her, but we have become spiritual friends. It may be about a year now, but she is someone that I know I can call and ask her to pray with me or pray for me, and I know that she will go directly into prayer. So I'm going to go ahead and just invite Miss Green in, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself. Welcome, Miss Green.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Miss Donna, for having me. I just want to say, man, this is just so amazing to see you on your journey. You go, sister. You hear me? I'm so proud. You're rocking it. I'm Fanesia Green. I'm 37 years old. I'm an author. I wrote a book 4 years ago. It was a children's book, Portland and the Snowflake. My passion is around women. I just feel like we need to walk side by side, always just wearing our crown no matter what we have been through. And so my passion is to continue pouring into that, connecting with more women. So I have started on different other projects. I just joined in with We Are One Ministry, which is a ministry of reconciliation. I am looking forward to see what God does with that. But I'm just amazed with where God has brought me from to where I am now. And I know he's not done with me yet. And I'm a mother of 4. I have a daughter, and 3 boys. And although I'm single and doing it alone, I do have a village. God has always made sure he connected me. Just such an amazing example being on this podcast with Miss Donna, from one mother to another. Someone, like she mentioned earlier, who we never met face to face or been out or anything, but just on the phone, being able to pray for one another is more powerful than anything. So it's just things like that I'm always seeing God being there for me to remind me, do not let your head hang low, but always keep it up high. Excellent. And I think
you're more than welcome. Where, let's start off first. Where can they find your book? Is your book on Amazon, or do you
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's on Amazon.
And Barnes & Nobles, Books A Million.
Okay, and what's the name of your book again?
Portland and the Snowflake. And it's a children's book, around, I would say, 7 to 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. You say your passion is for women. What brought you to the point to have that passion for any woman? Did anything happen in your life to draw you to certain people?
Yes. I've always been an outgoing people's person. But I feel like we would take tragedies that we've been through and we would just disqualify ourselves. And God just uses everything that we go through for his glory. And so when I just love relationship. I love love. So that's where I was learning at. When I fell in love, I went through a period in life where my whole world was just shattered. And I lost my father, and then I also had a divorce at the same time.
Wow.
But in that moment, honestly, I was numb. I didn't have anyone that I could relate to or really understood the pain that I was going through. And I remember just singing, use me, God use me. And so he began to lift me up. And the transformation at that time, I love the example of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It's a process. And I didn't understand that process. And so as I continued on and continued pushing forward, I just wanted to always remind someone that may have went through what I went through, or may go through what I went through. I just want to be able to encourage them that what the world may say for us continue, what you're saying, path or anything like that is nothing but the lie of the enemy. Because if God did it for me, he can do it for you. So I definitely take what I went through to be able to use sharpen another woman's iron. I definitely believe in it.
It's funny that you say that, because my passion also is to empower women, because I had to thank God for the things that I went through, because if it not had been for my hurt and pain and my trials and tribulations, I wouldn't be here to be able to encourage anybody, to motivate, people. I wouldn't know the pain that they go through. But just because I do know the pain that they're going through, I qualify myself to be able to help that person in any kind of way. And you said the caterpillar and the butterfly. That is how I actually come up with Create Your Life Transformation.
Woo!
I love how a caterpillar goes from a caterpillar to cocoon, and then a beautiful butterfly. I love butterflies. So I researched it one day, and it was just so very interesting of how much the caterpillar has to go through to blossom. And I said, that's some things that I had to go through before I was able to be who I am today. So my actually logo is a beautiful butterfly, and it's Create Your Life Transformation. I love that you said that. I love it, because transformation is something that I want to teach people how to do. A lot of people, they're afraid, they're scared.
Yes.
They don't want to change, but a mindset has to change first before you can even transform your life.
Yes.
So, but we've been so robotic. We've done so many things the same way, and we said the same. It comes from generation to generation.
Yes,
We don't even know if it's true. We're just going by what our generation has said to us or taught us. So when you go into saying change, that's scary for a lot of people.
Right.
Because change takes you out of your comfort zone, and nobody wants to be uncomfortable at all.
Right.
So when you went through your transformation, I understand you said you didn't have anybody to actually help you go through the pain. You had a double dose. Your father passed, and then divorce on top of that. So I know that you was going through just so much, and then not knowing what to do, how to do it. Am I gonna get out of this?
Yes.
Who can help me get out of this? So when all that went on, at what point, or who helped you deliver yourself?
Honestly, it was just literally God. It was seeds that were poured into me. It was seeds poured into me a long time ago that began to just flourish during the time. And when they say you have a praying grandmother, and I believe what I didn't understand during that time started to manifest, because I just immediately turned to God and just started talking to him. I was honest with him, and that's a good thing about our Father. We can be honest with him in our brokenness, because he sees what we're going through, because he wants us to see him. not what, anything that we can just fabricate on our own or whatever. Me falling in love with Jesus is something that I can't say, well, I just copycat off of someone. I fell in love with Jesus because I got to experience that. Because it wasn't no one else around. So as I was talking to him, that's when he began to connect me with people. Not that they understood where I was or what I was going through, but they were reminding me that not to give up, continue to pray. And you don't want to hear that when everything just feels so heavy on you and you feel that God has walked away. Why is this happening to me? Who goes through this? Maybe I should turn to this. Maybe I should just give up. All those questions, but yet God was still standing there. So that's the moment I will never forget is when I began to just turn to him, and I gave God a shot. I was doing it my way.
It didn't
and
work. It didn't work your way, did it?
And all of that pain I was experiencing during the time, I couldn't do nothing but call on the name of Jesus.
That's it. People don't understand that, that we always try to do things on our own or our way or whatever. And in the midst of it, we destroy everything. It may seem like we're going further, but we're just actually going back, because if we ask God to do it for us, and that means we got to step out of the way and allow God to actually do that for us.
Yes.
And what you said about when you was going through your tragedy, the only person you had to call on was God. I can recall during I'm a survivor of domestic violence, but it was like 9 years. The whole 9 years, it wasn't bad, but but I loved him. People say you crazy. I would have left. But you cannot say what you would have done if you have never been in my shoes.
Right.
So when I gave him an ultimatum, we can go to counseling, or if you want your family, here we are. But if you don't, you can walk out that door and never look back. So he chose to walk out that door and look back. And when I tell you, it was like my whole heart was just pulled out. The only thing I could do, Fanesia, is just drop to my knees and ask God to take that pain away from me. Take it away. I didn't want to cry anymore. I just wanted to be done with it. I didn't want that pain. I didn't want to hurt anymore.
Right.
And when I tell you he done that, that is when I first had my encounter with God. And I've been moving ever since. I've been moving because he supplied. It's been over 20-something years, but I tell you, I walk by faith and not by sight. That is my motto right there. We can't see in the spirit realm with our naked eyes. So we have to change and begin to see how God sees us.
Right.
For someone who, let's say per se, don't believe in God and just believe in some higher power, I suppose.
Right.
What kind of advice would you give them to get out of their situation?
Oh, I will tell you this. They definitely will try to always seek a relief from somewhere else. Because when you walk in with Jesus, it has to be a change. It has to be a transformation. It has to be a growth, because he's beginning to put you in a position to what he originally created for you to be, because his plans will happen. And so a lot of people begin to try to seek or go and worship something else. It's just wasting time, but that's definitely a part of life, a part of their season that they would just definitely have to be able to see. Because I feel like if a person is like forced or pushed or pressured, well, do this, follow these, they're just going to immediately walk away.